And what is up, my geeks? My name is DroidRider, and welcome to another action figure review. I hope you guys are doing great right now. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the LADo Toys Mystic Land Daisy Taurus. Now, this is actually the fourth figure of this line. Well, by what I said by fourth, if you're including the LADo Toys version, the pink version of it, but I wouldn't say it's fourth, but third character that they've made. So as you can totally see, this is like a cowgirl human-like character, but this is a character that a lot of people have been waiting to get, and I also got one too, so the wait is finally over now. By the way, you can totally see there's actually like plastic wrap of the box, so I'm gonna have to remove that as well. And look at that, even on top of the box says please take photos or record video of the unboxing for multiple angles for after sales use. Obviously it's just gonna be quick. I'm just gonna remove the plastic wrapping that it has real quick. Now that the plastic wrapping has been removed, it actually looks much cleaner now. So the packaging comes with like this little window, a showcase of the figure real quickly, a lot of accessories. Well, mainly two accessories that you guys are seeing here. It's not focusing properly. Real closely, it says Era number 3 Daisy Taurus Waitress version. Yeah, that is a thing, because there's going to be another version of LADo Toys and Tony Tigers really soon. If you guys didn't know, I actually did saw the images. A really nice product shot of the figure. And then the other side is, of course, the name of the character, and then another product shot. And the left side is a product shot and then the name of the character. And it comes with like this little cute little pixel art of the character. It looks adorable, like I said. And of course, you already saw the top. It says, Daisy Taurus. And in the back of the box, I really like everything that it's showcasing. Of course, the figure, and then the multiple facial expressions that this figure is going to come with. The accessories, and even the figure stand. Another pinned love. QR codes of, of ladotoys.com and everything else. And the bottom of the box is, showcase like legal information and, that this is not a toy product and all that stuff. More information, we have the LADo Toys stamp, and there's a barcode for those who wants it. Another thing that I forgot to mention, that in the LADo Toys and the Tony Tigers review, that it doesn't have like a sticker on top of the box, and neither as the bottom. So that explains about the the plastic wrapping. So usually in packaging with a lot of different like manufacturers, they usually have a sticker meant to for the packaging to be open and all that stuff. But yeah, that explains the wrapping, by the way, of course. Before I actually have everything set up real quickly, I just want to showcase this little little diorama. It's actually like a little village, and then you have like a little like tower on the side here in the top of the house. But yeah, it's needless to say, it's like really cool diorama if you want to do some figure photography, of course. This is how the packaging of the figure and the accessories looks like in the inside, and then we have some other couple stuff here, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let me have everything set up, and I'll see you guys in the next scene. Alright everybody, now that we have the action figure and the accessories out of the packaging, and I gotta say that actually they look really cool, and it has some features that I really want to talk about, but we'll get through that momentarily. Of course, I have like this little rotating base, as you can totally see that the figure is like spinning like a 360 view. This is a perfect thing for everybody to have a perfect view of the figure. Meanwhile, I talk about the accessories and all that stuff, rather than just being like standing up, of course. Before we actually go with the accessories, I gotta talk about this, of course, the art card. I really like the art card that they've been giving us, and it's not focusing properly. Okay, there it is. Kind of got a little darker, but it's the camera lighting. Mystic Land Daisy Taurus Waitress version Era number 3. She does have her little like slogan that she said on the back of the box, but it's just kind of hard to see because they use a really light color for the letters here. By the way, the only thing that really surprised me, of course, was the information of the character. Of course, she's a female. Her height is 190 centimeters, and her age is like 19, because if you can totally see in the figure, she looks much older. I mean, 19, that's old. That's in like an older age, of course, yes, but she looks much older on the figure. But species, it says that she's a dairy cow. And it says that she was born on December 23, Era 34, and she's a Capricorn. And then her scales and all that stuff that I don't even know, a bunch of stuff that has been going on, but And then we have the QR code, and then LADo Toys. And by the way, I really do like the artwork of this art card, by the way. And in the back of the card, it's just pretty much the same thing, but with a different language. And then in the bottom, it says the character code. It's a character code in the bottom, but I just had to like cover this with my thumb. But I don't think I want to show this. Up next, we have assembly instruction of the figure. It's pretty much the same thing with like Leah and Tonya, with, you know, a lot of features in the articulation and the accessories that I showcase. And in the bag, it's just the set, you know, what this figure is going to come with. But, you know, it's always important to check these. And last, we have the service card, just with like the other two figures. With Leah and Tonya, it does have like this little service card. However, a little different is that they also added the heads of the characters, by the way, which is actually really cool. It's just like the product warranty and all that stuff. And, you know, thank you for choosing LADo Toys. The same thing as the previous two figures. And now to get into our main attraction is, of course, the accessories. First off, I want to showcase that she comes with like these two extra ball jointed pieces in case if they break or they get lost. But, you know, you have them in a baggie. I secure them with tape again. So yeah, that is it. Next, of course, is the figure stand. And the figure stand is actually, you know, the details is good. It has like this like wooden plank details in areas that are like darker in the side of the figure stand. And here we have a peg joint, and then the bottom is just, you know, it's just kind of shallow and everything like that. First thing are the interchangeable hands, and I forgot to mention is that Daisy will come with two different sets of interchangeable hands. The hands that you guys are seeing on screen, they're completely different. You're not gonna have like one hand, like one left and one right in the hand, but no, you can totally see that this hand is actually like an open relaxed hand. Turn the hand aside, and yeah, it's just like an open relaxed hand. And the next one is just like a regular pointing hand. This is how it looks like in the back, and this is how it looks like in the front. And the last set of hands is like these accessory holding hands, you know, the hands that are meant to hold props and all that stuff. The first thing I want to showcase is like the accessories with the cross arms to make it seem like the character is doing like a cross arms. She does gonna have like these white clothing parts of her outfit, so you know, this is how they look like, and this is how they look like in the bag. It does have like these peg holes to attach them. Next accessory I want to showcase is this little like golden tray. Kind of looks like a coin, but it's just like a tray just to hold, of course, the mugs that you guys are seeing in the background. But you know, nothing special about this. Next we have is this little like scepter, by the way, which honestly it's really cool because not only it has like wooden details all around the rod or stick, whatever you want to call this, but another like cool detail about this accessory is that the diamond on top, by the way, it isn't just a regular diamond. It's actually a sculpted detail of a cow face. You can totally see that. When I first saw the images, it just looks like a regular diamond, but I never actually paid attention to this. And that is actually really cool. Up next we have this broom piece, by the way. This little scepter is actually to attach the broom piece. And you know, it kind of looks like a regular like broom with a little like cord attached to it. At first I thought you actually put the hole in it, but no, because it just makes it loose and doesn't hold really properly. But I didn't know that this thing was actually meant to be open in the middle, just like that. And that is actually really cool. So all you do is just grab your little like scepter thing and just place it neatly there, and then you grab your other like broom piece. And now it's a broom with a head and scepter, of course. And yes, of course, you could actually remove this because it's, of course, magnetic. Like, look, that's cool. Next, she does gonna come with like these two mugs. Of course, the wooden details, and then you have like the metallic color with them. And also, of course, it's not real metal. It's just like, you know, just painted metal. And the bottom, it does have like this like detail that is like kind of cracked, by the way, a little bit. But in the top of these mugs, it does have peg holes to attach these little like effects, by the way. Next we have the two splash effects for, I'm assuming, alcohol or beer or whatever this is, but either way it's just transparent, but just with like white painting all around the top of it. It does have like these peg joints for the mugs, and also when I was fiddling around with this, it's not too hard to actually attach it. You don't have to like jam it in there like hardly or nothing like that. No, and honestly, I gotta say this is like really cool because you could actually do some figure photography with this. Daisy Taurus has two different set of facial expressions, or two faceplates. But first, I gotta talk about that she just comes with her little like this little one for the eyes to move. The same thing with Leah Lopez and Tony Tigress. The first facial expression comes with like this that she seems like she's about to cry or something like that, but and then You know, she has like yellow eyebrows and then the eyelashes, blue eyes, by the way. This faceplate looks really adorable, and you can, of course, you can totally see that she's blushing. If you turn the faceplate around, it does have like this peg for attached for the interchangeable faceplate attachment. And then you have the eyes that are like the square-shaped peg holes. In the previous with Leah, Lopex, and Tony Tigers, you know, just attach it to the eye, and yeah, with the little like wand, you actually move the eyes on any direction of you want. So that is actually really cool about this. Last facial expression, which is like, I don't even know what you call this, but this one is actually like more blushing. I gotta say, this one looks adorable as well. You know, like blushing, and then you have like the mouth, which is a separate sculpting piece. If you turn around, the mouth is actually a different sculpting part, and then they just insert the mouthpiece in the faceplate. And just like the other faceplate, yeah, she does have like the eyes to move around. I do gotta say that the accessories are actually pretty good, but I wish that she would have come with a lot of more related like maid accessories. Overall, I gotta say it's actually pretty good, but the interchangeable hand pieces, I wish it would have come with more. Now that we actually fully talked about the accessories, it's now to take a look at the presentation. I'm gonna have to do this with the flashlight on my phone because to actually have a better look of it, and to make sure that my phone is not overheating too. But either way, let's start with her head. Her head actually does have some really great sculpting details on her hair. And she does have like this piece of hair. I don't remember what it's called. I know they call it something else, like especially in anime and all that stuff, but at least it's actually a really like soft plastic, by the way. She does have like these two horns that they're actually like a gold color. It's not real metal, of course. I really do like the details that they put with painting on her hair, by the way. Sculpting on her braids. She does have like bows on side of her pigtails. She does have piercing on her ears, only on one ear, by the way. If you actually remove the hairband, it's actually, of course, like a soft material. In the faceplate, it's pretty much the same thing as the other ones. And this is actually like the happy facial expression, and this is how it looks like in the back. Simple black collar, but she does have a little small like golden bell. I really like that, honestly. I know it's really weird that I have to mention this, of course. Yes, what you guys are seeing, her chest size is really big. I want to talk about the uniform because I really do like the way the uniform is look, especially the printing details, which is like, of course, a cow print details. Simple black like corset looking type. I do like the texture on the little apron, especially this little like strap that is covered on around her waist, and this is how she looks like in the back. Really nice detail of a ribbon here. Her tail, it's actually like a separate piece that you have to attach, of course, on the back of her. Attaching the tail on the figure can be a little quite tricky because the peg is kind of covered with a ring around the peg. The tail stays in this position. It's not a wired tail. Like, there's no wire inside the tail. I wish it was, honestly, to make some, like, of course, some posability with it. I really do like the details on everything. The apron and even the skirt. It's actually, they put a lot of effort into sculpting. It's actually like a soft plastic. And even the skirt too kind of has like this little open area. Her hands actually are like open relaxed hands, as you can totally see. Last thing is the lower body. I really do like the details on her thighs. They're pretty much like tying up mainly because of her sock, of course. Nice detail on the thigh sock as well. It kind of has like a lighter color, and then some of the colors has like darker areas too. You can totally see here where the knee joint, and that's how it looks like in the back. Lighter color on the front of her feet, by the way, and then we have like darker areas too in the back. She does have some glossiness in her high heels, by the way, and of course she does have peg holes for the figure stand. This figure has some really interesting sculpting and details that they put into this, and I do gotta say that the entire sculpting is quite incredible. And kind of think of it, it actually kind of reminds me like a cottagecore dress. It's like a maid dress, but it just kind of has this feel to it. And a friendly reminder that I did not find any paint slops in this entire figure, so the paint job, it's actually spot on. Now that we're taking a closer look at the presentation, it's time to take a closer look at the articulation to see how posable she is. So starting with her head, I just want to mention this real quickly, that the horns do not have any articulation, but the ears actually do have articulation, which you can pretty much do some twisting on the ears. You can do like an up and down or like a side to side. Next is her head, and she does have some really like range of motion on the head. She does have a huge amount of tilting, or you could either move her head side to side. She can look far up this much and down this much, and it gets in the way mainly because of the braids. And speaking of her braids actually does have some articulation, if you can totally see. There's like ball joints on both of them. Well, ball jointed hinges to be exact. Up and down, left and right, or you can pretty much do like a side to side, but of course it just gets in the way. Again, like I said, the 2 ball joints on each side, and then we have of course the ball joint for the head. That's pretty much the main part of the head. Next up is the torso, and the torso does have a lot of range of motion, as you can totally see. She does have like a tilting, of course, and twisting. Now in the waist area, she doesn't have like waist articulation, unfortunately. But if you move the upper body, she kind of does have like a twisting, as you can totally see. She can only arch this back much and arch this front that much, which is not a lot, unfortunately. Moving on, in her shoulder, she does have like this ball jointed hinge, of course the range of motion. She can raise her arm this far up, which is impressive. And by the way, this little part over here does actually do twist, by the way, on both sides. She does have bicep swivel. She does have double jointed elbows. She does have a ball jointed wrist, which she can do like an up and down, side to side, and all the way around. Even though that the tail does not have like a wire inside of it, and you cannot do any like posability with it, but you could also do like a twisting on the tail, so you can pretty much twist the tail like any direction. Next is the lower body, and first we gotta mention in her hips that she does have like the up and down ball joint system, if you can totally see. She does have like the twisting movement in her hips. She does have a thigh swivel, by the way, but you can't really see that I'm really doing like a thigh swivel, because I mean you can totally see that the joint is actually moving. So yeah, so it's kind of a little tight, honestly. She can only kick this far up, unfortunately, because it does get in the way, mainly because of the skirt piece. And I do want to warn people that if you try to actually kick her more, the leg would actually completely pop up, and yeah, so that is one thing that you have to be careful with. So that is like the problem with this one. Total side note, I even tried to do a kick with this other leg too, and the leg also pop off. It does have like a ball joint, so don't worry, it's not gonna break or anything like that, but just like I said again, please be careful. She can split her leg this far that much. She does have double jointed knees. She does have ball jointed ankles, which pretty much you can do like an up and down tilting on each side. And she does have a pivot system. And last, she does have toe articulation, and this is how far she can only bend. The articulation is pretty great. The system of the articulation has a lot of ups. The articulation has a lot of range of motion and movement. Quite fascinating that they put articulation in her ears and even her braids. One of the minor complaints that I have about the articulation is that she doesn't have any waist articulation. That's quite important for articulation in the upper body. And then there was the leg kick articulation. That's also one of the issues. If you try to do articulation such as like kicking poses, both of the legs will just pop off, but do not worry, if they're not broken, you can just put the legs back into its place, like if nothing would have happened. And last, we have the scaling size of comparison. For this first comparison, I wanted to bring up Tonya Tigers. This is also from LADo Toys. Of course, I did a review about this. Tonya happens to have the shortest height of this figure line so far. Next, we have another figure also from LADo Toys, of which I did a review, of course. We have Leah Lopez. She almost reaches the exact same height as Daisy Taurus. And total side note as well, I do want to point this out real quickly, that Daisy Taurus happens to be like a half human and a half furry. That is actually crazy. Up next, I want to showcase 2 different Snail Shell figures from Snail Shell. Here I have the Tapagale Milk Tea Girl for height. And last Snail Shell figure, I just wanted to bring up the Assassin. I think they both have the same height, honestly. For another height comparison, here we have the Figma Hatsune Miku bootleg figure. And yeah, she's actually way too short. And last figure for scaling height and comparison, here we have Mai from Fatal Fury. This is a model kit figure from a Chinese manufacturer called the Generator Industry. And they both have the same height. I do gotta say that Daisy Taurus, it's a really great figure when it comes to height. Anyways guys, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, another phenomenal figure from LADo Toys. I gotta say, they're absolutely doing a great job with this. Daisy Taurus is actually pretty much like a half human and a half furry, mainly because she has cow ears and a cow tail. Of course, Mystic Land is dedicated to making these furry figures. I said this before that I am not a furry, but I'm also getting into these like figures from LADo Toys. I've been seeing so many collectors having this figure, and I gotta say that this is also another great room for your action figure collection. But to tell you the truth, this is actually a must-have. So like I said again, that's gonna be the end of this video. Now if you guys are new, be sure to click subscribe to become part of the Geek Squad so you cannot miss any videos I upload. So yeah, my name is DroidRider, and I say goodbye.